Hello, everybody, and welcome to Pixel Profiles episode number 3. And we are joined today by Mr. Rimulex. Hello, Rim.
What's up, Zach?
All right, good. Everything should be working. Audio should be working. Everything should be good, and I am happy.
A happy Zach is a happy bear.
Indubitably. So, everybody, say hello to Rim. He is a VTuber, an artist, game developer, and kind of, sort of, sometimes PNG tuber. You can follow Rim on Instagram at Brixagel, Twitter at Brixagel, and Twitch at Rimulex. And didn't you sometimes stream on Brixagel on Twitch? Or no? Was that
I've never streamed on Twitch as Brixagel.
Okay.
Because by that time, I had already came up with the name Rimulex and started developing his story. But all my time on Twitch has always been Rimulex.
Gotcha. Alrighty. And you can also check out Rim on ArtStation. Let me get as artstation.com/Rimulex, as well as jubtheartist.wixsite.com/jubtheartist. Now, Jub or Jube?
Either one works.
Jubes. So, definitely be sure to show him some love. This an all-around wonderful person. Very, very, always welcoming. Always, always interactive. Just great person in general. So definitely be sure to show him some love on all of his socials. They'll be popping up next to his little icon right there throughout the stream. So, Rim, welcome to Pixel Profiles.
Thank you.
And so, basically, same thing I'm going to be asking everybody whenever we start out. What brought you to live streaming and content creation?
Generally, I was at least one of those teens that went, "Oh my god, everybody's doing this. It looks so much fun." And just essentially trying it out, not getting the same luck, but never really giving up because I'm just that stubborn. But
Honestly,
at the same time, right? Like, people say you don't know when to give up, but is that a bad thing or is that a good thing?
Yeah, I really think it depends. Like, if you're dumping all of your money and you're treating it like an addiction, like where it's actively ruining your life and you're throwing away a lot of money trying to pursue it, and it's not just not making anything, you need to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. You know what I mean? You need to know when to walk away if you're killing all that money.
Yeah.
But like, if you're doing this as a hobby, if you're doing live streaming if you're looking at it the right way, as not a quick way to make money, then you're going to have a good time. If you're looking at it as purely your money-making opportunity and you're just starting out, you're going to get burnout. You're going to think people just don't like you, and you're not going to want to continue.
Yeah. That is a very slippery slope right there.
It really is. It really
I've
is.
seen it firsthand. At first when you notice it, it's like, oh shit, I didn't see that coming. But then after sometimes yeah, I mean, you could have prevented that, but I just wanted to see if you noticed that first. Because when you notice it, you don't want to be the person to say, hey, you're go down this slippery slope, don't do that or else you're going to eat shit.
Yep, and then all of a sudden you're made out to be the bad guy. Is like, oh, well, you're just not a supporter. It's like, no, I'm a supporter. I just don't want you to hurt yourself.
Dude, anybody that tries to say that with me, let's just say this. Anybody that tries to say that with me, I get this very serious look on my face. I go, really? With all the stuff I've contributed, with everything that I've done, with all the clips that I've made, you really think I'm not a contributor? Or is that just your hurt emotions talking?
I will say, for those of you watching or listening in the background, Rim is probably my top clip contributor, and I can probably safely say that about like at least 4 or 5 streams that I know of. Um, Myself, Spelly, both of Spelly's channels, um,
Yep.
Leanne, um,
Mm-hmm.
and probably
Maestro.
Cod, nope, Maestro and Codman. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yep.
Like,
But yeah, so when um has there ever been a point in your like live streaming career? Oh, first let me pause. How long have you been streaming?
let's see. I've been streaming since March 2021, I believe.
Okay, okay. So it looks like you've had your Rimulex account since 2013.
Mm-hmm.
So did you used to watch on Justin TV, or was that
Oh
like the
no,
very early days of Twitch?
like the very early days of Twitch. Because like originally, as you already know, I'm a massive fan of Kingdom Hearts.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the core reasons why I came over to Twitch was I saw a content by the Skyward Wing stream on Twitch. I'm like, oh shit, I already like his stuff. Let me watch him live. But then like the crowd was just too big and it didn't feel as much of like a community, but it just more so felt like just watching somebody on stage. Then I found other communities, and I could probably say the Classy Viking was the very first community that I followed and genuinely felt a part of. And I'm pretty sure that had it never been for that stream, I probably would have been swearing today a lot more than I already do.
Yep. Yeah, that's feeling like a community really is what brought me into it too. Um, when I first started watching Twitch, the first streamer I ever watched was Admiral Baru, um, who's still a massive streamer, still like I think top 100 streamers on Twitch or something like that. I don't remember, but I initially found his stuff through YouTube. He was doing like a One Life to Live with Ryoko, in Borderlands 2, which I loved that game back when he was doing that. And then I ended up finding a streamer called Curvy Llama. Um, Come to find out, I had known her from before streaming. Um,
What?
Actually, yeah, this is a story not a lot of people know. Um, I had a dating account on OkCupid for a little while, and I ended up going on a date with a girl who happened to be a mutual friend of ours. And
Oh.
after the date, we went to like a small little house party or something like that. I don't remember. It was years ago. Um, and she just happened to have been there. And like that was back when she was still working at Universal as a cast member. And
Oh.
so I just happened to have had that one interaction. And yeah, I just became a part of her community for a while and uh, ended up playing H1Z1 with her and a few of the other viewers. And then I started streaming, and I had like 50 followers at the time. And she comes in and she hits me with a 200, 300 viewer raid. And I'm like pooping my
Oh,
pants because this
fuck.
was so cool. And yeah, so people really don't. Uh, I think a lot of bigger streamers nowadays, like the ones that are like actively streaming for their career, like this is where my money is, that I need to make this money. I feel like some of them have kind of fallen off of the building a community aspect. um
Yeah.
Nowadays, there's really only one I can think of off the top of my head that's like actively like growing really quick and well deserved. He's hilarious, and like he's been taking care of his health like really intently lately. Um, Pine FM. People might have seen him on TikTok with like, yeah, I work for the radio. He does stuff with like a Siri impersonator, like Siri yokai. But he is just an all around awesome dude. Active interaction with his community, movie nights, stuff like that. Like, and he's one of the few that hasn't lost sight of the community aspect of streaming, of Twitch. And it's really good to see, and I really wish a lot of these bigger streamers would kind of take a second to breathe. It's like, yes, I need to make this money, this is my job, but let's take a step back and breathe for a minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it becomes far too easy to just simply go, "Hey, I got all these numbers," but
Yeah.
they feel hollow. It's one of the reasons why you'll see some people with such big numbers in terms of people who are following them, but then when they press start streaming, they only have maybe like 5 people in chat. And numerous times I see that, I'm thinking to myself, what the hell is going on? Like,
Mm-hmm.
they got so many people following them. They've been doing this for years, but they only got like 5 people in chat? Are they doing something wrong, or is this actually how it's supposed to be?
Well, a lot of times when that happens, that's like remnants from a raid that they got a long time ago, or it
Ew.
was from like a really popular game that they were streaming a
Yeah.
long time ago. I know um, with certain streamers, I'm not going to name any names, that were really heavy into H1Z1. They got a big following from H1Z1 and like Overwatch One, and it just died off when those games died. Um,
Yeah.
Alternately, there's always that suspicion that somebody could be paying for those followers, which
True.
is disappointing, but that is what it is. But the main reason I brought up like the community interaction with bigger streamers and wishing that the bigger streamers would, kind of fall back on that is because from what I've seen from your streams, and I do lurk. I'm a serial lurker. You are probably, I would say, one of the better streamers that it has active interaction with your chat. Um,
Aw.
and like you actively get to know your viewers, which is really hard to find nowadays. Like you'll have like the streamers that are coming in and it's like they're acting all happy and like, yeah, hey, thanks for coming in, oh, it's great to see you, hey, how are you? And then like after the stream they're just completely shut off and they're like, okay, I'm done, go away.
Ugh.
Whereas with you specifically, like after stream you're right into your Discord like chatting away with people that were already in chat. So I got to give you props for that. That's something you do really well.
Ain't easy. That is not easy in the slightest.
Oh no, I know all that very well, trust me. With my current mental state and some of the things I've been going throughout the years, it has been very, very difficult to maintain a presence even in my own Discord. Um, been trying. Obviously, there's going to be times where I just can't deal with people, um,
Yeah.
and that's something that streaming has really helped me with. Forcing me to deal with people because I heal when I'm around people and when I interact with people. When I shut myself off and I'm like actively nobody talk to me, period, that's when the toxicity really starts to creep in and actually get into my head. So streaming
Right.
is helped me a lot when um, I can't process, so I just turn the camera on and force myself to interact with people. So
Okay.
yeah, that's just something that's helped me throughout the years.
I mean, in terms of, it's like, it's definitely helped me in terms of improv because
Yes.
that
Yeah.
like during high school, I was not that good at thinking on my feet. Even to this day, I don't think I am. But if I compare myself to when I was younger, I definitely made a lot of improvements. But for those that aren't aware, I have high functioning autism. So that's already a whole bunch of learning how to communicate properly on top of struggling with other stuff that just doesn't click with me the same way that it does with other people.
Mm-hmm.
So I like, let's see, something that a lot of people will say people with autism will have is it will sound like they're constantly practicing a script. And for me, that's 100% true because I'm always going, okay, when a person says this, I gotta go, gotta say this and this, or at least have a way to break the ice until I can actually flow off of what they're saying. Like, if I've known a person for long enough, then it it just happens almost as smooth as ice. I don't have to think very hard about what to say. I'm not trying to keep a conversation from going dead. But then with say if it's somebody new or somebody that I'm interested in, then I just essentially flatline and just go, crap, crap, crap. What do I say? What do I say? This is awkward. Shit's already gotten awkward. Wait, it's already awkward. Fucking fuck.
I'm
And it
making
just
it more
spirals from
awkward
there.
now.
Exactly.
Yep. I don't have as far as I know, I don't have autism. I do, however, have ADHD, and the main aspect of my ADHD is social interaction and social cues. So that a lot of people don't realize this, but ADHD and autism actually overlap quite a bit when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
certain symptoms and certain mental states. So you'll get the social ineptitude, where it's hard
Yep.
to pick up on social cues. Um, you'll get lapses in focus, which is what I'm currently getting. So like mid conversation, you'll snap, it's gone. Um,
Yeah.
you'll get attention derailments, where your focus will completely shift to something else. And I'm trying to work my way back to what I was originally going to say, but I have no idea what it was. Um, so that's a thing. Um, but yeah, so like let this be like a nice little lesson to anybody that wants to start streaming and you're thinking, oh well, I have autism, nobody's gonna want to watch me, or I have ADHD, I'm not gonna be able to like do the streaming thing, or like I can't talk to people. From my personal experience, both watching people with autism stream and my personal experience with ADHD, it helps so much.
Yes.
When there is a screen or something in between you and the person you're speaking to, it helps you maintain a conversation so much better.
Mm-hmm. Because you have so much more to play off of, so much to bounce off of.
Mm-hmm.
You're not just sitting in a white room by yourself trying to think of something to talk about. You actually are having constant feedback. It's either something from the game, something from real life experiences, or somebody in chat saying something. And that's already three right off the bat. You can
Yep.
say, oh, dang, this is nice, or other stuff.
Those
But,
extra stimuli are so helpful.
mm-hmm.
Speaking of extra stimuli, just want to take a second and speak to chat real quick. Um, Anybody that's watching right now, please, if you have any questions for our guest Rimulex or even myself, in the Discord, there is a Pixel Profiles interview questions. So if you have any questions that you'd like to ask myself or Rimulex here, definitely be sure to post those, or just go ahead and ask them in chat. And Selena or All Star can collect those questions and give them to us at the end, so we can have like a wrap up Q&A. Okay.
Honestly, I don't mind answering any questions because I'm usually an open book. And
Same
if
here.
I'm not comfortable with saying something, I will outright say, and I quote, "Yeah, I don't want to answer that because that's actually something personal."
Yep. Yeah, I'm not going to give you my social security number or like the name of my first pet or the street where I used to live on when I was a kid.
Oh my god! The fact that people still do that perplexes me so
Hilarious. The
much.
fact that people actually give the answers to those is special.
Like,
Um,
it, it's actually one of the core reasons why I don't answer those Facebook questions anymore. Because like people aren't realizing that those questions, like the individual questions on their own, yes, they're harmless, but collect maybe about 15 of them, and you got some dangerous information.
yep. Oh yeah. It's like those personality questions and stuff you get on you like those personality tests. It's like, oh well, you're 94% like the best friend in the relationship or something like that. Like
Mm-hmm.
all of that nonsense, I stopped doing those in high school. Like when I saw the questions they were asking, I was like, it's a little sketch. I'm gonna not.
Like it's it's really amazing that people have yet to catch on to that. But like
I don't know,
when
man.
you realize, like people put so much of their lives on Facebook, like if you were to collect all of somebody's data and organize it, you got so much to either do identity theft,
Mm-hmm.
fraudulent charges,
Yep.
credits, ruin their credit score, find out where they live, especially based on pictures alone.
Yeah. Oh my god, people posting like, "Oh, we just bought our house," and then they post like the street and the house number and I'm like, "You're dumb."
Mm-hmm. Like all you need to know is probably how to use Google Earth, get a quick idea of the places that they frequent, and you could easily find where they live.
Yep.
Like I think that's probably one of the oldest forms of social engineering, the
Yep.
oldest forms of hacking that you could do, and it still works to this day for a reason.
100%. Speaking of engineering and social things in regard to engineering.
Hmm.
So, you're in game development. You've been working on game development stuff. Okay.
Hmm.
Now, what would you say, like, do you have any finished products that you have, or like something that you used to work on that you're like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and post this somewhere for people to play?
So I do. Recently, those that are familiar with Iron Mouse, she recently had a game jam that I learned about thanks to that Maestro guy. Originally, I would never have known about it if unless he had told me about it, but that's the first game that I actively finished and put out there because I saw it as a way to benchmark myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because originally I went to the Art Institute, that place went under because of corporate greed, and from it I was able to learn from a bunch of experts in animation and my teacher, Mr. Tim Wetzel. And holy shit, that like think of Kakashi from Naruto or uh Aruka Sensei. Wait, no, not Aruka. I Iwawa from My Hero Academia, and that's essentially the level that my professor was at because he made sure that we knew how to break our shit, how it worked, and how to fix it if it broke.
You
Because
have
he
to
was
know
a
how to do that. You have to know,
yes,
like, you have to know what broke before you can know how to fix it.
exactly. And like I would not be where I am without because let's see, because of him, I can 3D model, I can code, I can animate, I can UV texture. What else? I definitely learned a little bit of drawing from him, even though he was primarily 3D. I could do lighting. I can and have made a whole game on my own. But back to the original thing, because of Iron Mouse's game jam, I made a game all by myself, solo dev, in the span of a month. And after looking at it, it definitely was a good way to benchmark myself because I made a working 3D platformer. It barely got any music, but I also taught myself how to make a cutscene in game, which that that shit looks good.
Nice.
I try not to stroke my own ego, but this is one of the few times where I gotta say, no, 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 don't stroke your ego on that. You deserve it.
It's like, no, no, no. He's got a point.
Exactly.
All right.
Like, but I will admit, early on in the game jam, I was going in it straight for the money. But my love for game design, the more I started working on the game, the more I started going, hmm, I'm remembering why I wanted to be a game dev in the first place. This shit is nice. Oh shit, this is awesome.
So what did you build the game on?
So I built it in Unity. Ah, I
Yeah. So
uh,
what do we okay, so I'm gonna give the viewers and listeners a bit of context. So Unity recently released what they're going to be doing with one of their updates coming up soon. Basically, a terms and conditions payment thing. What they're going to be doing. So normally Unity is free. Normally Unity's free to use unless you're a big company. Then you pay a licensing fee to Unity. Um, Now, what Unity has decided to do is after I believe it's 100,000 downloads or something similar to that. After a certain amount of downloads, the game development company or the publisher has to pay Unity per install of the game.
mm-hmm.
So let's say, let's take Skyrim for example. Skyrim
Oh
built on
gosh.
Unity. Skyrim was built on Unity. Um, so after and this isn't new downloads, by the way. This isn't new customer downloads. This includes games that have been in people's libraries and they have downloaded, uninstalled, reinstalled, uninstalled. This includes those as well. So
Mm-hmm.
10 years from now, if Unity actually follows through with their plan, which it looks like they're planning on continuing with it, even against the public's wishes and warnings. Um, Bethesda is going to have to pay Unity per Skyrim install. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure Unity's going to die after that. Now, having said that, Unity has become ubiquitous in the game development space, but if you just look at what Unreal is doing with Unreal Engine 5 and how amazing it runs so much smoother than Unreal 4 with so much more realistic graphics on modern equipment. I really think Unreal 5 is going to take over once Unity kind of dies off. So, with that, those are my thoughts. How is this potentially going to affect you and your content creation? Are you going to continue using Unity until that change takes place, or are you going to start learning other um, programs or platforms?
So I'm definitely learning other programs because I'm a jack of all trades within like even outside of game development, I'm a jack of all trades. But with all that blowback, they've become they've become the evil that everybody has decided to unite against, which has done wonders for the game development community. Like it's sad that Unity essentially sank their own ship, even though they've rolled that back. But like I've said to a bunch of my college friends that I'm still working on a game on with, it's real. Like even if they roll it back, it's gonna be an uphill battle, like almost vertical for them to regain trust. Because if they've done it once, what's stopping them from doing it again?
Yep.
And this is even the reason why some people have avoided Unreal because Unreal are in a similar position where they have community trust, they have a product that numerous people use. So like that also sends a message that Unreal could easily do a similar thing.
Well, that I think is a different story because I believe Unreal is open source.
Oh?
I believe Unreal Engine is open source. There's releases, there's official Unreal releases, but I'm fairly certain. Let me double check that. I don't want to say anything wrong. I literally have the internet at my fingertips.
Is Unreal open source? Oh, it is. Oh
Um,
shit.
Unreal is not open source. They say here the code is copyrighted, but the knowledge is free. So you can go in and edit. You can go in and edit Unreal to your liking, and you won't get any negative backlash from Unreal. But you can't like publish your own version of it if it's built on
Ah,
Unreal.
like the source code is open
Right.
source.
You can view everything. Um,
Hmm.
but like it's not like it's completely 100% free to use, but it's not open source. So
Okay.
it both is and isn't. Like you get all of the information. You can see down to the source code, but it's copyrighted
Right.
or trademarked, whatever. I don't know the legal mumbo jumbo.
That's fair though. But like, holy shit. That like mm, like there's so much that goes into what Unity has done because like the ripple effects of it is it's going to be felt for years.
Mm-hmm.
Like the blowback from the first 2 days alone, that was enormous. Like
I have never like outside of like celebrity BS posting on Twitter and stuff like that. I have never seen that much of a blowback of um like a posting from something's terms and conditions. Like I have
mhm,
never seen that before. Usually it's people that are just they post it, and if people are upset it'll last like maybe a day, maybe.
right.
But like
Like the best way to really explain the blowback is from a scene from DBZ Bridge, which I'm sure you've seen, right?
oh god, yeah.
Okay, so remember when Cell finally absorbed Android 18 and Bulma said, I know I can't sense energy, but I could feel that?
Yeah.
That's essentially what it was for
That's
anybody that
yeah.
wasn't in game development.
Do you feel that? I taste that.
Like,
Yeah.
and the thing
It was
is,
yeah.
that that could have been easily avoided on, I think, at least three different levels. Because let's see, that could have been avoided by not hiring the CEO, because he was the one at EA that got them their reputation and tried to charge, or he at least suggested that they charge gamers $1 per reload, which is very stupid on its own.
Yep.
At the same time, they also had
Real
like
quick,
they also
not
sent the
not reload in video game, not like reloading a weapon, like re-downloading the game. Sorry.
wait, re-downloading?
Yeah.
Wait, that's even worse.
What were you talking about?
I'm talking about like anytime you're playing a first person shooter, reload for every time you need to reload the cartridge.
Oh. Oh no. Oh. So he made the joke
Yeah.
about that.
He was serious. That was no
He was
joke. He
okay.
was
Never mind.
serious about
Okay,
that.
I thought he was talking about like re-downloading the game. Okay,
No.
okay.
He's the reason why EA like he played a massive reason why EA has the reputation they have for microtransactions.
Well, time to fire him. Like, why would you?
Mhm.
Okay, so why would you hire somebody that has that negative of a connotation to his name? Like,
because they wanted short-term benefits, not long-term.
there's no short-term benefit.
Yes, there is.
Okay,
Short-term benefit equals
publicity.
money.
Publicity, yes. You will get that short-term publicity money. You'll get like the advertising revenue and stuff like that. But that oh.
Yeah, like,
Hmm.
and the other way that all this could have been prevented is if the CEO actually listened to the feedback they got from the employees, because most of Unity's employees are developers themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, the developers was sent an email saying, "Hey, this is what we're going to do. Give us your feedback." They didn't listen to jack shit of that, and yet they're
Nope.
just dropping the Pikachu face, going, "What the fuck happened?" They're wondering
There's
why is the
what?
blowback so enormous.
What? This happened? Like clutching their pearls. It's like, I had no idea.
Right? And
Oh
then
my
there's
god.
the board of directors, or well, either the board of directors or the shareholders, which somebody in that team should have been able to rack whatever goes on in that dust cartridge up there and go, "Hey, this is a bad idea. Maybe we shouldn't do that shit." But like nobody, like either nobody said anything, they were thinking too greedily, or they were just going, nom, 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 money good, money good. Like,
Yes. That's it. That's all that was. Is yeah, that's exactly what they were doing. But
mhm,
like that's the problem is they were looking too narrow. They were looking far too
right,
narrow when it like they were you cannot you can't expect to make money when you're basically alienating and insulting your entire player base or user base
right,
rather. Like these people, the reason Unity even took off to begin with is because it was a cheap, or even for smaller studios or independent creators, free way to express their creativity and bring
mhm,
games to the world. And the fact that they think that it was a good idea to start charging people, like, I have no problem with licensing fees. I really don't.
right,
You make the software, sure. Let me pay, you know, you your fee to use your software to create a game. That's fine. But if you need to make money, increase the licensing fee, or
right.
not charging individuals, charging the companies per individual install of the game is disgusting.
Like the ramifications of that is monumental because like people think that review bombing is bad. Have somebody write a script that uninstalls and reinstalls the game over the course, maybe 5 times over the
Oh, I
course of one
know.
second, and you could bankrupt anyone.
That is the first thing that popped into my head too, because like if you have beef with a company and you want to just like, you know what, here, let me buy your game. Here's $10 for your game. Now let me make you spend thousands of dollars because
Mm-hmm.
fuck you. Like
Like,
there's so much room for exploitation and um negativity to game companies because of this.
right. And like, and this even affects the big companies that have used Unity, like take Disney or Nintendo. You could bankrupt them over the course of a week if you bought maybe like 10 of their games and then run that code on them on repeat for 24 hours straight.
Yep. Fun fact. Fun fact. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl built on Unity,
Mm-hmm.
which is why it's so buggy, honestly, but also why it
You're not
looks
wrong.
so good.
Right.
Like it's the only Pokemon game built on Unity, and it looks
Which
the
is
best.
impressive.
And the reason it was built on Unity is because Diamond and Pearl were built on Unity, and they just use the exact same game, just with updated graphics. Like it's literally the exact same game, like copy paste. And the only difference between the games is one trigger in the code that you switch, and it just switches the game over to Diamond or Pearl. Like it's one trigger that you flip.
Oh, that explains so damn much.
Yep.
It's like I I noticed that there was so much of it that felt one to one that I was thinking, God damn, they really were like they wrote their documentation and kept everything in order, but
Yep.
no, it's just a copy and paste.
Yep. It's literally just platinum, but marketed as Diamond and Pearl.
Oh gosh. Like I understand as a
I
game dev.
respect it.
Oh yeah,
I
like
respect
get
it.
what
Hey,
what
you
you
get
can.
your money, man. Like you hit that nostalgia button. You hit that nostalgia button hard, Nintendo. Or Pokemon Company. I respect it. You do your thing. But it still feels scummy to sell two different copies of the game.
I can understand the reason for it because, like, it at least encourages trading, battling with friends,
Yeah.
and like different options. Because some Pokemon appear in one game, and some Pokemon appear in another, or even different cities, like they did in Black and White. Like, as long as they're different enough, but can be viewed as alternate versions of the same universe, then yeah, make two copies and sell more money. Like make more money. That might actually be good, but it has to be done with care, or else you're truly just making a cash grab that you're hoping little kids would go.
Yeah. That high pitch too. Yep.
I'm
Actually, I
sorry.
just got some breaking news. This is
Mm-hmm.
breaking news. Just coming over the what's happening trending Twitter page. Rimulex, are you a fan of professional wrestling at all?
It's a little bit died. Oh wait, who died?
Nobody died. Nobody
Oh,
died. Something died.
did, did somebody
A
break a
certain
leg?
relationship died. Um,
Uh,
Stephanie McMahon and Paul Levesque, aka Triple H, are getting a divorce. The power couple of WWE are getting a divorce.
that's not as breaking as I thought it would be.
That's sorry, I should have done the SpongeBob fish thing. Breaking news.
So it's scary how accurate that was.
I like doing voices.
You and me both.
All right, now that
'Cause,
that little segue is out of the way, um, I know that was completely random. I looked over to Twitter or X, and I was like, "Huh?
I mean, that
You
caught
know
me off
what?
guard in the best way.
You know what? That is a fantastic segue into something we actually talked about right before the stream started.
Oh,
So, brand recognition.
oh.
Brand recognition. Rimulex. Do you find it difficult? Do you find it difficult to maintain the two usernames? Uh Rimulex in how do you pronounce it?
So the first one's
Brixgel?
pronounced as Brixajol.
Brixagel. Okay.
Brixajel, that's honestly it's not that different from how it's usually said, because with my real name, the same problem happens, but at one point I actually forgot which one was the actual pronunciation. I had to ask my dad, how do you actually say my name?
I don't know why that was funny. I'm sorry. Go on.
But long story short, Brixajol is how you say it, and then Rimulex, you got that one accurately. But I treat it as a first and last name because the full thing is Brixajol El Rimula. And those are actually just two different characters that I've made. One I made during high school, which was a Soul Eater OC, and the other one was a Kingdom Hearts OC.
Pyromancer.
Uh huh.
I remembered. I remembered.
Uh, I am a pyro. I love fire, even though I hate the heat, ironically.
Okay, I'm gonna try and grab this without. Nope, that will burn my hand. I have candles going.
God damn it. Do not burn yourself live on stream.
I would never do such a thing. But can
Uh-huh.
I? Can I get? There it is. There's the candle.
Fuego.
Yep, it's an apple. It's a warm apple pie. I love the smell of apple pie,
Oh, now you're
especially
making
this
me
time of year.
hungry.
Chat, somebody donate so I can get an apple pie. Anyway, so
But
you don't really treat it like two separate usernames that you have to maintain. It's just like two names that refer to the same entity essentially.
mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because some people like I even have art of the two different characters. Because like I said, one is a Soul Eater OC, one was a Kingdom Hearts OC, and then I said, and then originally I said to myself, wait a minute, what if I just merge these two series together with a little something extra? And essentially, I merged the world of Kingdom Hearts, Soul Eater, and Avatar: Last Airbender, and now I essentially got the series that I've been working on for a little over 12 years.
Avatar: The Soul Kingdom.
Yo,
X.
yo, don't go give me ideas. I might use that.
Don't go chasing waterfalls. Anyway.
But like, it's one of the core reasons why I have such detail in terms of characters. Like, hell, even Slime Remix, that was just something that I created in high school, but like, the design was always in my head. But for some reason, I never used it until I decided, oh, wait, I need an avatar to represent me on Twitch. Let me scroll through this old picture book and go, nope, nope, used it. Yep, maybe, nah, too grotesque. Nope, that's not safe for work. And eventually I saw Slime Brew. It's like, ah, this is adorable. It's simple. People could draw him very easily, easy to recognize. Just gotta give him a little bit of hair to make him distinct. Can I 3D model that? Hell yeah, I could 3D model that shit. And then that's how it came to be. The
Ace.
chaos part, that was just me not acting like I am just that
That's a
chaotic
personal.
sometimes.
That's a personal insert right there.
Yes, like it gives me the best excuse to be chaotic and adorable without having to go, oh yeah, I got an acting character for this. I'm not acting most of the time.
I'm not acting. Sometimes.
Like even Conman can tell you that I like either I'm acting or I'm just being myself. And
Either I'm acting mentally unstable or being myself, or all three.
mhm,
All three is good.
that's the best way to sum it up. That truly is the best way to sum it up, and I love it.
Yeah. All right. So, if you could sum up your streaming career,
Mhm.
and actually, let's come back to that. I have another question. So,
Okay.
obviously, Twitch is more known for the gaming content, and Kick
Yeah.
more known for gaming content. YouTube is more of a all rounder, like basically you can find everything there. Um,
Yeah.
so what really brought you to live streaming your artwork and yeah, I'll just use a blanket term for artwork for your content. And I know you still stream your games, but what kind of settled you on doing your artwork on Twitch as opposed to having your content elsewhere?
I'm gonna be blunt and honest about this. Originally, it was just so that I could sell more commission art because, like, I truly believe that people would want to see me doing stuff live because I make all kinds of artwork. I do 3D stuff. I do 2D stuff. I can make animations. I can do the occasional graphic design. It's not my strong point, but I'm not bad at it. So I thought, okay, people may want to see this live so they get an idea of what goes into it. And that's essentially what I did. Add that with my knowledge on game design and how I'm a jack of all trades, and you got what I do live on stream. Anybody have any questions on it? I'll answer it. If I can't
That
answer it,
is
I'll Google it.
that is a wonderful segue. That is actually a wonderful segue because now I'm going to go ahead and jump on into the Discord and see if we have any questions for you, Rim.
I'm slightly
Okay, Pixel
nervous.
Profiles questions. We do have a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, not sure if you saw
Oh,
there. Okay, so apparently Unity did walk it back. They won't charge you unless. Well, we talked about the specific threshold.
right.
Um, then you'd only pay on new down. Okay, so they completely backed up. No, they didn't. Okay, so it
They
basically
backpedal.
everything is still in still what they said. So sorry about the Discord being screwy, chat. I'm yeah, I'll just kind of sit Rim in the corner here. I don't know. Like Discord's weird. I'm capturing Discord and it won't let me actually capture the pop out video for Rim. So lo siento.
Wait, why
Um,
didn't you open up Discord? Open up
I
the Discord on your phone?
Because I didn't happen to do a think at that particular point in time. So we're just going to do this.
Oh,
We're going to do some live editing. Here we go. Just a little bit more pixelated
wee.
Rimulex. All right. So from Selena, Rimulex, you mentioned going to AI. I'm so curious about your experience. I had an opportunity to go, but opted for a community college. What's it like? So Art Institute. Um,
Yep.
Opted for a community college. What's it like? I also had no idea they went under.
So I'll say this right now: you dodged a bullet, like a straight bullet to the heart. Like they might as well have been double tapping. But the people that I met there, I genuinely bounced between regretting going to AI and if I was given the same opportunity by going back in time and going back again, I would go back to AI just to meet some of the people that I've met. Because like I was able to learn so much from not only my professors, but from so many people that truly did expand my worldview. Like I may sound like I'm reading off of a script from that, but I cannot make that up. It's like AI and the company that bought it was an absolute shit show that was just lit on fire. But the teachers and the students that I had to meet there were truly what made AI so awesome. It like my teacher, Mr. Wetzel, he is the reason I have the skills that I have today. My teacher, Miss Maisie, she was hilarious. Like she was that smartass that knew what she was doing and had every credential to back it up. Like she was that kind of chill teacher that knew what's up, knew some of the rules were bullshit, and would go, "Yeah, I don't like some of those rules, so I'm just not going to follow it. Y'all can do what y'all want. I won't report y'all for it, but just know that I agree that those rules are bullshit, but I just have to follow because they are my boss." Essentially, one of those kinds of teachers.
I love those teachers. They are
Yeah.
the best.
Mm-hmm. And just like it's both good and bad that you didn't go to the Art Institute, but to go a little more into why the Art Institute went under, I only found this out about a few months ago from one of my other friends that went to Art Institute with me as well. But turns out Dream Center that bought the Art Institute knew that it was going to go under a year in advance. Because in the summer of 2018, all of us got this email saying that, hey, you're going to have to complete your education elsewhere because the Art Institute is going to close by the end of the year. We was on the last week of summer break and everybody was scattering, like students were losing their shit, teachers were livid, and we were not getting any answers. Like the teachers knew just as much as the students, and it was truly like I won't say hell because like hell is just suffering. Like it was like the breed of chaos that I hate. Like there's good chaos that helps people, and then there's the bad kind of chaos that fucks everybody sideways like their name is COVID-19. And
Yeah,
like
I can only imagine. I can only imagine the stress, like not only that the students were feeling, but like the financial stress that the teachers were about to feel. You know, because
yeah.
like they invested basically. Because the Art Institute, I remember seeing commercials about it, and I actually almost applied to Art Institute. But uh, I can only imagine, like, because these people like completely changed their lives. They went from like acclaimed universities and stuff like that. They came from like actual instruction backgrounds, and
Mhm.
then like, hey, by the way, look, I know it's kind of last minute, but we're shutting down.
Yeah.
God, I can
And
only imagine how that like affected them.
yeah, because like the teachers, the best way to really describe it was the teachers weren't so much mad that they'd be out of a job. They was mad because some students had only just enrolled.
That too.
So like they were getting like like it's not even so that was so let's see. It was worse for the students who had just enrolled, and then it was bad for the students that were nearly done. I was one of those students that was nearly done with their degree about maybe one more year and I would have graduated. And then there was the students that were maybe 2 or 5 semesters in because like they were truly midway but still only just getting started. And like they was getting screwed over the most. So like the teachers they had every right to be livid and they was I could tell that they was doing their damnedest to help all of us out. Even my teacher, Mr. Wetzel, like he was one of the most serious teachers because he got results. Like he would fail you in a heartbeat without second guess. Like there's a reason why I compare him to Aizawa and Kakashi. He was that kind of teacher that truly got results, and he was worth every penny that he was paid. And on his face, you could just see him like what's the best way to describe it? Like think of if Batman was just standing there, but you knew that his blood was just boiling and you could almost hear the steam coming out of his ears.
It's
Like,
like, I literally taught you this. Why are you not getting this? I'm
mm-hmm.
gonna punch you.
Oh, and that's the thing. He knew mixed martial arts, so he could stay true to that. Like, he was a mixed martial arts instructor, I think, somewhere else across town. So, like, he could have done that if he really wanted to. But like all the teachers were so pissed off about this shit, and it's like they was trying to help us out so much. And at one point, we found that the school called Hushin, which luckily was only about maybe 1 mile away from where the Art Institute was saying, "Hey, students, if you want to continue your education here, you can do that, and we'll accept all of your credits, no questions asked." And somebody was like, "Oh shit! Wait, you'll accept all of our credits?" Because so many schools were telling us that AI's credits weren't worth anything. Like they wouldn't accept any of them. So like all those
that's
years
that's
that
actually
people had,
ultimately why I didn't apply.
yeah, like the credits they weren't worth shit. Like it was about like a year of this where credits that we had spent that we spent years earning, put sweat, hard work, and all this other
And
stuff
thousands
into
of
gaining.
dollars.
Yes. In turn, it's just like it ain't worth shit. So then a whole bunch of us start transferring our shit to Hush and making sure that we got our papers in order and other stuff. it was chaotic as hell. And
Mm-hmm.
then we learned that the people from Dream Center, which once again, Dream Center can go suck the fast part of my. I hate them a lot, but essentially they said a meeting saying, "Hey, we hear we hear that you're all stressed. Allow us to answer all of your questions." They didn't answer jack shit. Somehow they was able to worm their way out of people recording the whole thing for future reference, and it's I forget what exactly they said, but paraphrasing it, it was essentially, "Hey, you might not want to record because other people may not be comfortable in the recording, but if we really think about it, none of us would have given a fuck because that at least would have held them accountable."
Yep.
So, like, somehow they was able to worm their way out of that. The teachers didn't know anything more than the students knew, and essentially a bunch of us went to Hushin. But before we went to Hushin, we were given this paper that said you have three options. Either you could just drop out and then you won't have to worry about any of the debt. You can do a teach out at Hushin, and we'll give you $1,500 towards your debt, or or you could stay here and finish out your shit. They didn't expect so many people to take the teach out option with $1,500. And then when it came to fork up that money, they were nowhere to be seen. Like
It's
they
like,
said, "Oh, oh,
ooh,
so many people took this option?
Ipsy.
Nope, nope, nope. Ollie out of here." And we were livid because like Hushin was definitely a much better option, but at the same time, they managed to screw people out of money yet again.
Yep,
So like,
it seems like they saw a bunch of people panicking and tried to just make money off of it.
mm-hmm. And the worst part of it all is like, well, not so much the worst part, but like another part of that was it was Mr. Wetzel that had recommended a bunch of us go ahead because he was going to be hired there, and we already knew that if Mr. Wetzel was going to be there, we would definitely still be learning on the same quality because he knew game design in and out. He had experience, and he could easily teach all the students from the ground up and make sure they knew exactly what they needed to know. But sadly, because they didn't like his teaching methods, he didn't end up getting hired at Hushin because the way it was described to me is Mr. Wetzel teaches that gets results. So like he was definitely that no nonsense teacher, but once you were at a certain point and you were comfortable with what he taught you, then he definitely smoothed out. It was like, oh yeah, he was really calm about this. So then afterwards, we're like, well, what do we do? Do we actually go to Hushin, or do we just drop out and learn or reinforce what we learned? Essentially, a bunch of us went to Hushin, graduated, but another thing during that was just a lot of people saw me livid for the very first time. Like a
Fear.
high school friend. So like it wasn't even because of the teach out, but at Hushin, long story short, like in the game design course, there's game production 1 and 2. You take those adjacent to each other in terms of classes, and that's supposed to be like your final project. And I got paired with the one person I did not want to get paired with.
That's always how it works. Every time. Never fails.
And here's the thing, it was just me and him. It truly was just me and him. And to say that I didn't want to knuckle dust the paint off of that mofo, oi, like,
Here comes
like,
the old knuckle duster.
yeah, like one of my friends from high school who had known me for 7 years at that point, going on 8, she saw me live it for the very first time, and I think she described it as unsettling because if I'm mad enough, my what's the term for it? Uh, what do you call it when your nose essentially?
Flares?
Yeah,
Yeah.
when I'm like I'm at a certain level of anger, my nose flares a lot. and that hasn't happened since high school. So it was a rare thing. But like, I essentially got my degree. All my teachers, even Miss Maisie, understood exactly why I was pissed. And in the end, she said, "Well, if you don't like, you," she already knew that I was going to be the one holding up the sinking ship as if it was the Titanic, and I was Superman. But she said, if you don't like what ends up being the final product, you can just make your own version and put your name on it. Which I wasn't about to touch that hot piece of dog shit. Like, one of my teachers convinced me to keep it on a hard drive that I still have to this day. And the in the Google Drive that we shared, I tried nuking that thing 5 different times. I tried nuking that thing 5 different times. But for some reason, the guy still wanted to keep it up. And because of that, I'm probably going to try and nuke it again in an hour. But I ended up getting it. And after I graduated, I genuinely went, okay, I got all these skills. What can I do with them? The background and slime Rimulex is a good example of the things that I can do now. But like, my skills was able to really grow now that I had the free time to truly experiment and mess around with what I've been taught, to go over concepts that I probably only have 11 weeks to learn and practice and then do for a final, which, yes, each of these trimesters were 11 weeks over the course. It's like 11 weeks, and this was 4 of them over the course of a year. But like, it definitely shows in what I can make now. But
Yeah.
like, that was a whole trip in itself. Which, oh yeah, and I was forgot when we got that alert from AI that they were going to be shutting down. Somebody managed to steal one of the Cintiqs. Like, nobody
I
could
mean,
figure out.
if you're gonna steal something when a company is shutting down is probably the
Mm-hmm.
best time to do it.
Like,
I
all
don't
of us
condone
swear that was an
theft,
inside job.
but
Like,
if you're gonna
it
do
true.
it.
Yeah, like, it had to be an inside job because like it was one of those Cintiqs that shit. What's the like? I swear that Cintiq probably weighed like 20 pounds, and it was no small Cintiq. Like, it had to be an inside job. Nobody could tell me otherwise because we had security cameras that was motion detected. And when I found out about that, I'm thinking to myself, shit, why didn't I do that? Why didn't I take that? We deserve that crap after that.
With
And
all
the
the
thing
shit
is,
they put us through.
yeah. And the funny thing is, our Institute of California, they did exactly that. They raided the school. And I'm saying to myself, why the fuck didn't we do that? Like, I would have organized everything. Just like there's so much I would have organized to just steal that from a company that was already stealing from us and screw it over.
Rimulex does not condone theft. Rimulex
I
does not condone theft.
don't condone theft under normal means.
But if the company's shutting down anyway, I mean, what are they gonna do?
Yeah, like, I don't even know where Dream Center is at this point, but I really hope that they are feeling the brunt of this.
It is my legal right to face my accuser. My accuser doesn't exist, so
It's like to this day, we still don't know who took it. I would love to know. I'd love to know the story of how they managed to sneak it past. I think it might have been Miss Maisie because she would be the kind of person to do that. It's hilarious, but like, it's just so much bullshit that screwed over so many people that really got me just livid. All because a few people wanted to line their pockets and not care about the ripple effects.
all right, Rim, we are running a little low on time. I do have one last question for you, also from Selena.
Let's go
Um,
away.
This one is you have so many voices. Have you thought about doing voice acting work, or have you done any in the past that we can check out?
I've done numerous times now, but sadly, it's I'm looking for ways to get paid off that. Like, if somebody could send a bone my way, then please do.
Make it.
But
You gotta make a portfolio, buddy. You
I
gotta
do.
get the recordings
I do
done.
have one.
Oh,
If I give me one moment and I will pull it up.
and I will share it in chat.
Casting call.
Go ahead and post it in the Pixel Profiles question.
Because I will admit, I definitely like. It wasn't until I made that portfolio where I realized, oh shit, I actually got range. But some of it truly was just me being silly or
Honestly,
what?
that's the
Ooh,
best. That's the best time. That is the
right?
best time to record stuff when you're not taking yourself seriously.
Mm-hmm. Like there's, I believe it's the first one where I said a type, I made an error, but it actually fit the character that I was going for because I said, "Do I make myself queer? I mean clear." And like
Oh
it's actually
my.
good.
All right, castingcall.club/Rimulex. If you want to check out
Mm-hmm.
Rim's voice acting work, it is in the Pixel Profiles questions channel of the Discord. But yeah, so Rim,
Yeah.
I saved a few minutes. I saved a few minutes at the end. You told me that you wanted to ask me some questions, and I've been doing all the asking.
Uh
Did you
huh.
have any questions for me here at the end?
Yes.
Okay.
How did you come up with the name Man Bear Zach?
All right. So, a lot of people think it was because of South Park and Man Bear Pig. No, actually.
Oh,
So, I was a DJ for a little bit.
what?
Yes, I was on the radio for a little bit. Um, it's 99.3 WLRZ, The Lair, Lenore
No
Ryan's college
way.
radio station. Um, and we had a segment called the Furry Creature Show. And this was before like furries became like a thing. Um, so we probably wouldn't have used that name had it been a thing then. But
Mm-hmm.
I started out as DJ Big Bear. Um, because we were the Bears, the Lenore Ryan Bears, and so I started out as DJ Big Bear, and then I stopped doing the radio stuff. I ended up having to leave Lenore Ryan due to separating the muscle from my spine.
Oh.
Yeah, I was moving pool tables, separated the muscle from my spine, and took me
No.
out of commission. Had to leave college, and ended up um, somebody one of my college friends said something to the extent of half man, half bear, all Zach. And I was like, you know what? You know what? I'm using that. I'm using that. And I ended up going with Man Bear Zach. And then
Oh shit.
I hadn't actually seen the South Park movie at that point. Um I ended up seeing it like a couple years later or something like that. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I was like, well, now I know why everybody references South Park whenever they talk to me.
I mean, I don't even watch South Park, but damn.
Yep. Yeah. I South Park was one of those shows I was not allowed to watch as a kid, period. Um
Fair point.
yeah. That and Ren and Stimpy.
I could not get into Ren and Stimpy. Like
Oh,
I
there's a
tried,
reason
but
you needed to be stoned to enjoy Ren and Stimpy.
well, that ain't happening anytime soon.
Yeah. Well, oh, that's where Man Bear's at came from.
Oh
And I
shit.
guess that's kind of a scoop for the stream too, because I don't think I've ever told that whole story. I've mentioned being on the radio before, but I don't think I've
Right.
ever actually told the entire story.
Hey, you do have a voice for
I
radio.
have a
So
face for
like,
radio.
true. That is very
Wow!
true.
Wow!
What?
Wow! Okay, you heard it
What?
here first. Rimulex thinks Man Bear Zach has a face for radio. Okay. All right.
What's the bad part of that? I see it as a good
See the
thing.
thing, the face for radio. You can't see their face on radio. That's yeah.
Oh.
To be okay.
Oh,
To be
fuck.
fair, "Happy Happy Joy Joy" from Ren and Stimpy is probably the one song that gets stuck in my head over and over and over again.
Oh my
So
gosh.
that's a thing. Selena
Uh,
goes, "Rim, honey, that ain't a compliment."
this is how you know I'm innocent at times.
True.
Like, I'm not acting when I'm truly being this innocent. Like, there's no way you could fake that.
He is a precious little cinnamon bun, and anybody that says differently is a wrong.
Like, there's only a 2% chance that other people could say otherwise, and that 2% chance is accurate, but we ain't gonna talk about that.
Okay. Anything else for me?
Yes. What would you consider to be your greatest achievement, or what are your greatest achievements, both on stream and out of streaming?
Oh, that's so easy. So my greatest achievements are on stream are definitely the amount of money I've raised for charity. I think
Ooh,
in total over the years, I think I've done close to about $5,000 or $6,000 worth of charity. Um,
damn.
One of those is my favorite one I've ever done was the $600. Well, it was $1,200 that I raised in one marathon stream for Toys for Tots, but it was a 50-50 because I'm gonna be completely honest, I really needed the money at the time, and everybody that donated knew it was a 50-50.
Right?
So being able to take that $600 um, and doing the live stream in Walmart, which is actually still up on the YouTube channel. Um, you just have to look up and look find the Toys for Tots Man Bear Zach, and ended up adding another $50 onto that of the money that I had taken, and
Mhm.
went around Walmart just buying like bikes, toys, stuff like that. Filled two
Wow.
carts worth of toys, and something that I wasn't able to stream because it was at checkout and there were people behind me and I didn't want to take up their time.
That's fair.
Um, this was immediately after I ended the stream and started doing the checkout and everything like that. Um, Afterwards, after everything was paid for, um, these two little kids were behind me with their parents, and their parents had like a grocery cart full of food, um, and none of it looked like Christmas food. You know, none of it screamed like holiday meal food. Um, it was like a lot of ramen, box food, potatoes, stuff like that, and she ended up paying with food stamp or EBT card. Um, and the uh honestly, the only reason I was still up there is because I was waiting on the manager, because the manager wanted to verify that I paid for everything that was in the cart. So
Right?
um ended up looking at the two kids and saying, did you guys want to get something out of the cart? Did you guys want something? Because I'm gonna
No
donate them
way.
I'm gonna donate them anyway. And they looked up at their mom and back at me and said, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah, pick whichever one you want. I don't care. It's all yours. Pick one." And the mom turned away and like walked away a few steps, and the dad looked down and says, "You heard him. Pick something." And the the girl picked the Rainbow Razor scooter that I had gotten, and the little boy was looking through, couldn't really pick what he wanted. He go and I asked him what he liked. And he goes, I like tanks. And I said, I have something for you. So I reached down. It was like tucked behind some things. I had actually picked up like a soldier thing. It had like a tank and it had like a Humvee or something like that in it too. And ended up saying, I got you. He grabbed it and like started jumping up and down, a big smile on his face.
Oh,
And the mom turned around. You could tell like her eyes were red. She wiped away tears. And the dad walked up to me and like walked to the side and said, "Hey man, I don't know why you did that. Um, I just need you to know that that means the world to us because this here in the cart, this was it. This is all we had. We actually couldn't afford to get them toys this year." And I was like, oh, like I'm getting, I don't,
oh,
I don't know if y'all can see that, but I'm getting goosebumps just thinking of that story again. Like that's what I love about streaming, dude. Like I don't really care about like what it can do for me, like what sort of like I don't care about what it can bring me. I want to bring stuff to other people. You know, that's part of the reason I started Pixel Profiles, you know, cuz like I I I don't have a huge following. You know, I don't have a way to bring people's voices. I don't have a way to really amplify people's voices a lot. But if I can amplify other people's voices, especially ones that I feel like deserve it, then I want to. And I want to know like what brought everybody together to this particular place. And if I can do that and help somebody out, then I'm going to. That's what I get out of streaming. That's why I do it.
I
Um
can relate to that.
yeah, and you know there's somebody, I'm not going to name his name. I'm not going to name his name, but he is a member of the community, member of a couple of communities that I frequent. Um and he has very very serious medical conditions um, that have given us life or death scares multiple times. Um,
Oh,
and he messaged me one day saying that um, he was he was so glad that I streamed one day because he was in the hospital. Um, and like he felt like the only reason he pulled through the surgery that he had was because he was able to watch my stream before it happened. And yeah, so you know, I have no delusions of my place in the streaming world. I don't foresee myself blowing up, becoming a big name streamer. I don't foresee myself, you know, making a lifelong career out of this. If it happens, cool. But that's if I'm streaming, I don't have any viewers, right? Sure,
mhm.
it's disheartening. It sucks. Everybody hates seeing that zero viewers.
Yeah.
But but if I'm streaming and somebody needed me to be live at that moment in time and I made their day at that moment in time, making one person's day and being the best part of that one person's day is more valuable to me and more important to me than being just a general part of hundreds of people's day.
Hey, you got no idea on how much I relate. Like, I relate to that so dang hard because honestly, I like it's it honestly touches on two parts. it touches on something that I usually say at the end of most of my streams, which is usually if I've managed to improve your day a little bit or on some degree, then I've done a good job. Or something that I've recently started adding, I think also about a month ago, is essentially where I share all of my overflowing amounts of serotonin and dopamine that I have in excess to give to people that may not have it themselves and put it to better use other than wasting it on me. Because if it's in excess, I already have what I need. So why not share with somebody else that could use it?
That's dope, mean. I'm sorry.
God dang
I'm
it.
sorry. I'm sorry. Hey, Eric. Speaking of, how you doing, brother? Okay, so normally I don't interact with chat, but during the interview segments, but this is kind of like the post. This is like the after party. Um, yeah, but so outside of stream, to answer the second part of your question,
Uh-huh.
um, my greatest accomplishment outside of content creation and streaming, um, I don't know. And that sounds that I understand that can sound kind of bad. I get that. Um, but I yeah, I got my psych degree, but to be completely honest, a bachelor's degree is ubiquitous now. Everybody's got one.
Yeah.
They're not really, and it doesn't feel like a very it doesn't feel like a very relevant portion of my life. Um, the only relevant part of my college career is like making the friends that I made when I was there. Um,
Right.
but accomplishment wise, um, yeah, I don't really have anything. My life, my focus has kind of been streaming. Um, and I guess if I have to say something, then the past year and a half to 2 years, um, losing a year and a half, I guess, losing 75 pounds.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that's a huge achievement,
I
dude.
ended up I ended up gaining 10 of it back, going on 15 of it back, because as a lot of people know, depression causes a lot of things. It
Yeah.
makes you not really want to focus on yourself anymore. Ends up my body's kind of gone downhill with my mental state, to be completely honest.
Right.
For those of you that don't know, my mom passed on the 16th of last month. And processing that, dealing with that has been very difficult. Um, so, yeah. Um, so the depression weight, the 15 pounds of depression weight has sucked. But, when my doctor a few years ago told me the weight 345 pounds, I was like, that. And then he said the words pre-diabetic. I was like, ah.
Ooh.
A switch flipped in my brain, and ended up just changed my life for the better. Like, yeah, I'm overweight now. There's anybody that looks at me can see that. Um, but I was way worse off. You can go and look at the streams I was doing before my long hiatus, and you can really see like how much bigger my face is.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Like, like the change is astonishing in a way.
yeah, it's
That
it's yeah. I can
like it's
I can put
impressive.
on.
Like,
I have a pair of shorts that I had.
mhm.
I was like, I told Dad, I'm holding on to these. They don't fit you. I know they don't fit me yet. And I ended up getting to the point to where I could slide them off without unbuttoning them.
Damn.
So it's yeah. I went from a size 46 in pants down to a 38.
Mhm.
So All right, Rim. I have time for one more question. Do you got any more for me?
I mean, dry on that. Like, I thought I would have had one, but nah, I've already technically asked the three questions that I originally would have asked about.
Fair enough. All right. So, Rim, one more time for the good people. Where can we find you? Where can we watch your content?
You can find me live on twitch.tv/Rimulex. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram where I post a bunch of my art. You can find me on ArtStation where I post 3D works that I either work on or am thinking about posting. On Instagram, you already know what you can find there. I post a bunch of art, Twitter, sometimes memes, sometimes crazy stuff, a whole bunch of other stuff. But on my personal website, I try and keep that updated with whatever projects that I decide to embark on, whether it's my 2D art, my 3D art, any game dev stuff, or even commissions or or video games that I've made. I got tons of projects that I'm either gonna start back up or drop. So if you like what you see, why not commission me? I do all kinds of stuff.
All right. And if people were to come to your stream right now, what can they expect to see within the next couple weeks?
you you'll be able to see what is going to be my 200 follower event, where if you spent any amount of channel points in stream, then through a series of games, you might be able to win them back. If I lose, then you get back any channel points that you may have spent within the past 7 months. But if I win, those channel points go bye bye permanently, and you don't want me to lose, because after that, we'll be playing Alien Isolation, so you don't want
Ooh.
those points to spend.
An alien slime playing Alien Isolation. That one's going to be interesting.
Mm-hmm. Everybody that I've ever gotten to play Alien Isolation, either through redeem streams or me just being a chaotic little shit, gets to get me back all at once. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, brother. Listen, I really appreciate you coming and hanging out with us today. I had a lot of fun. Um, I am gonna go ahead and say goodbye to the stream. So if you just want to hang out, I want to talk to you real quick in the Discord. So give me just a minute. I'll be right back. And hang on, I still have to mute myself in Discord. There we go. All right, chat. Yep. So, next week we have a pretty special guest coming in. He is another member of the Laminati. His name is High Defined. Caster High Defined. The time has not been chosen just yet, so just know it might not be at 7:30. Probably going to be closer to 8:30 o'clock, 8:30 o'clock, 8:30. So y'all chill out, hang tight. But he is another game dev. Really big on cards. Why is Spotify playing Wonderwall? But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out. I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful night, everybody. And I may very well see you next week. Or not next week, tomorrow. Good night.